From the Ventura County Office of Education, this is the Focus on Education podcast. And now, here's your host, Ventura County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. César Morales.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Focus on Education. We all know that libraries are a place to check out books, but that's just the beginning of what they have to offer. That's why we're excited to shine a spotlight on the Ventura County Library by welcoming its director, Nancy Schram. Nancy, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
We have a few questions, and definitely you'll have an opportunity to add anything that you feel that you want the community to know. But just to kickstart this, please provide us with an overview of the Ventura County Library.
Sure. Well, at the Ventura County Library System, our mission is to inspire our community members to explore and discover and connect, right? So to explore through lifelong learning, to discover new skills, and to connect not only with information and technology, but also with each other. And I think that's a very important role that public libraries play today, connecting people to each other. We are governed by the Ventura County Board of Supervisors. So we strive to carry out the priorities and goals they set for the county and their strategic plan. We are a large county library system, so we have 12 public libraries and 2 bookmobiles. What we do is we really attempt to meet the needs of the community by listening to the communities that we serve. That's really important to us as a public library system. So at the county library system, we serve all the unincorporated areas of the county, but we also partner with 4 cities to provide public library services. So with Ojai and Fillmore and Ventura and Port Hueneme.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we have a budget of just over 10 million, about 120 people, and that's for the entire library system. So like I said, all 12 libraries, 2 mobile libraries, plus our administrative staff, fiscal, HR, that kind of thing, 120 people to do all that.
That's impressive in and of itself, as we're a community in Ventura County of close to 800,000 people. So those 120 are definitely a mighty team.
Correct. It's a fabulous team. I love what I do. I truly believe our team, our staff really are our most important and best asset. And we just have a fabulous team at the Ventura County Library System.
So along those lines, tell us about your role with Ventura County Library and how did you get there? What was your journey so our community gets to know you a little bit better?
Yeah. So those people who know me know I love to talk about libraries. So I was very excited when you asked me to join you on the podcast today to talk about libraries. I've been the library director at the Ventura County Library since 2017. I started with the county library system in 2016 as the deputy library director. Before that, I worked in public libraries my whole professional life. I worked for the City of Thousand Oaks Library. I worked for the LA County Library System, where I oversaw libraries in Westlake Village and Canyon Country. I oversaw the literacy program there, so held various positions in LA County Public Library. And then prior to that, I worked in City Library in Illinois, which is where I'm from. And yet libraries have just had such an impact on me from a very early age. One of my favorite things about being a librarian is hearing people talk about their own experiences with libraries. For me, I have fond memories as a child of going into the library, this safe place, all the stacks of books that I got to pick out. And take them home and bring them back. I just have such vivid memories of, reading in the library with my mother and my sister. I can even remember how cool the water tasted coming out of the drinking fountain at my hometown library. But, tremendous positive impact on me as a child. And that love of libraries and the fact that I saw how it did so positively impact other people's lives as I got older, really, cultivated this desire in me to want to do this as a profession. I do hold a master's degree in library information science from the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. It's what I've always wanted to do, held various positions as an intern, as a volunteer. People always ask me, are you a book person? Yes, I am a book person. I love to read, but I think even more than that, for me, I'm a people person. I am a civil servant. I love helping people and finding out what they need and working with them to make that happen. So yes, I love what I do.
Oh, that's awesome. And I definitely have fond memories of going to the library, growing up and building relationships with the children's librarian, with the librarian as I got to explore different sections of the library. And even doing my homework there, doing my first research projects and doing them alongside help of a librarian. I've always valued their contributions to the community and not only giving us an opportunity to get assistance when we're doing schoolwork, research projects, but exploring different genres of books just by the relationship I had with the librarian of trying to try science fiction, try nonfiction, and just exploring different things, and joining a lot of the contests or activities and campaigns that they organize through the years. I definitely am a big supporter and have always been of county libraries, city libraries, as well as the school libraries themselves. Today's libraries are much more than books. What are some other programs and services that the system offers right now?
Yeah, so good question. We are more than books, but we have those too. But we do so much more. So for example, at the Ventura County Library, we have a very robust adult literacy program. It's something not many people might think about, but we have adults in our community, over about 120,000 here in Ventura County, estimated to read below a fourth grade reading level. So, we are all about that lifelong learning, any age. We're so unique. We're open and free to everybody. And that is a way we really can provide everybody an opportunity and level the playing field. And perhaps that isn't demonstrated any more than in that adult literacy program, where we have volunteer tutors who are working with adults who are learning to read. So these are adults who maybe can't help their own children with homework assignments, or maybe can't read, their medicine bottles, or, seek job employment opportunities, or they're limited in their job and employment opportunities. So that was one reason I really wanted to come work at the Ventura County Library System, because we do have a great program in helping adults learn to read. And that also includes ESL, so English as second language learners. We have English and Spanish conversation classes, group classes. So again, very important piece of what we're doing at the Ventura County Library. But we do other things, programs. Last year, we had over 3,000 programs in our Ventura County libraries that were attended by people of all ages. Wow. So not only early childhood literacy programs, working with families and the very young, but classes for adults. We have many partners that come in and bring experts, whether it be on gardening or STEAM related programs. They're coming in and using our library spaces to teach people these various skills. And speaking of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, we have innovation labs in some of our libraries where we have equipment and instructors who may be teaching mostly children, sometimes adults, but mostly children, these skills that are going to be so valuable to them as they go on in their education and future employment. So in the county library system, we serve a lot of areas that tend to be more underserved. And vulnerable populations. And for some of these kids, this is really the first time they're encountering these types of skills. Or the first time that they're learning about things like, rocketry or circuits or even, using a 3D printer, that kind of thing. So that's a very important piece of what we're doing. We do other things like check out items that are not books. We do check out, of course, print books and ebooks, but we also check out things that people would never think of the library having. So, for example, we have a partnership with 3C Ren where we check out home energy savings kits. So people can take them home and try out different things in their house to save energy. And then hopefully, they will be encouraged and inspired to do more of that. Through that same program, we check out induction stove tops so that people can try out and see what that is like. We have things like fossil kits people can check out and STEAM kits they can check out and conduct their own STEAM activities with their kids at home. And one of our libraries even checks out sewing machines. So, often these types of items we check out complement programs we have in classes we have at the libraries. We have a knitting and fiber arts club up at the Ojai Library. There's a ukulele club at the Foster Library. We check out ukuleles at the Foster Library in downtown Ventura, and people learn to play and then they all get together and play ukulele. So there are so many other facets of the public library that are not just books and information that we do that are just so important and so critical. And I should say here that we very much in public libraries consider ourselves a supplement to the formal education system. So often we are serving your students, educators, and it's a place where they can come to access resources and information to help them in that formal education process. So that's a very important piece of what we're doing. And in fact, we have 2 public libraries in Ventura County Library System that sit on campuses of schools. and serve also as the school library. So we have these great partnerships.
Oh, wow. Where is it? Where
So,
those?
for example, Oak Park and out in Piru with Fillmore Unified School District, and in Oak Park with Oak Park Unified, which is really a unique situation in Oak Park because it's on the campus of a high school. Typically, when you see joint school public libraries, they're in elementary schools. That seems to be more common. But we have this wonderful partnership out in Oak Park where we actually are on the campus there and serve so many of their educators and students. It's a place where, tutors can come and tutor students. So that is very much something we do in the public libraries as well.
You mentioned a lot of great programs and things that the libraries have to offer. Is there anything else that you'd like? You mentioned stuff on the adult literacy, classes and events, definitely early childhood, access to computers and technology. How about the Library of Things, or the One County, One Book initiative?
Yeah. When it comes to the Library of Things, there is perhaps no more important item that we check out than computers and Wi-Fi hotspots. So not only can people come into the library and use the computers and access the internet there at the library or get access to Wi-Fi, but we actually check out Chromebooks and Wi-Fi hotspots. So they can take these items home and use them remotely away from the library. It is just such a critical role that we play today in our public libraries, connecting people to technology. Can you imagine in today's society not having access to the internet or computer to try to search for jobs, apply for jobs, submit resumes, do homework, connect to teachers, connect to medical care, make appointments, so many things that we just often take for granted. There are people who don't have the ability to do that, and they need a place to come, free place to come access technology. And a big piece of that is not only providing the access to the technology, but the access to the digital literacy piece that goes along with that. How to use the technology, media literacy, how to trust the information they're finding. So, that is a significant role that our public libraries play today, is serving as that digital equalizer in society so that everybody has the opportunity to participate in society. So that is something in our Library of Things that I definitely want to point out and mention. We do also host the annual One County, One Book community-wide reading program. We will be holding it again this year. So look for that announcement to be coming soon. Every year we announce that we have a committee who has selected one book. And we encourage everybody in the community to read this one book. Typically that's high school and adult age that we're talking, although we do select companion books with similar themes for even the younger students to read with the families. But the idea is that then they come together for a series of programs and events such as book discussion groups or movie screenings to discuss the topics within that particular selected book. So it's a way to bring the community together and have those important discussions, often bringing people together with diverse viewpoints for lively discussion and sometimes debate. which is just so important for our community, especially today. There's such a need for that community conversation. Also, of course, we attempt to find a book that has literary merit, and, is enjoyable to read. And we've been very lucky to select books where the authors have then come to Ventura County and presented to the public. So we anticipate that'll happen again this year. These are typically well-known authors. We've hosted in the past Susan Orlean, Lisa C., William Finnegan, all kinds of, very well-known names. And so we plan to do that again this year and bring our community together to read this book and be inspired to participate in our library programs.
That's amazing. I'm so excited to hear about all the stuff that the Ventura County Library System is offering. And it's not only programs, services, definitely the traditional books, but your leadership and your style is bringing everyone together to engage with one another. And I want to thank you for that. We so need that right now in society, folks that are bringing us together, whether we have like views or not. And just learning from each other and creating a sense of community. So, special thanks for you doing that, Nancy. I know we here at VCOE are super excited right now to be partnering with you on the newest school mobile library, which is a bookmobile just for schools. Please tell us more about it.
Yes. We have, of course, the School Mobile Library, which is a partnership made possible through a partnership with Ventura County Office of Education. So thank you and your team for your role in that. It wouldn't be possible without that partnership. And also, I need to acknowledge our Ventura County Library Foundation and several donors to the foundation that made that School Mobile Library possible. Very important role this vehicle plays, and the team who delivered the School Mobile Library services, because the primary goal is to deliver library services to schools where they may not have a credentialed teacher librarian. There's, as you know well, a tremendous need in California for credentialed teacher librarians and school libraries. And so where that isn't happening, or where that isn't always possible at a school, we take the vehicle out with our librarians, with a VCOE librarian, and provide programs, provide access to books, and to collections that are curated specifically for the school curriculums. So it's just a critical partnership and a way we can have even more impact, in this case, specifically through that partnership with our school partners. So it's a tremendous program. We do have another mobile library that also serves remote locations throughout the county. That mobile library typically visits, migrant worker housing, maybe senior assisted living housing and developments, parks, community centers, farmers markets, botanical gardens. I mean, that vehicle is out there and serving. That vehicle was also made possible through the Ventura County Library Foundation, and we put that vehicle on the road in 2018. And immediately we discovered that a significant portion of the requests coming in for that vehicle and the need for that vehicle were coming from the schools. And so that was why we said we need a vehicle dedicated just to the schools to get out there and have this great partnership and provide those library services. I should also mention grant funds from the California State Library made both of those mobile libraries possible. And so it really was a community effort, collaborative effort that make them possible.
That's awesome. There's also a new library at the Juvenile Justice Center where VCOE operates Providence School for Incarcerated Youth. What can you tell us about that?
Such an important program. Thank you for bringing it up. We do have a partnership with the Ventura County Probation Agency to deliver library services there on the Juvenile Justice Center property. We have for a few years been providing literacy tutoring to the young adults who are incarcerated there. This is a fairly new partnership which will now expand the services we provide to having full library services. So programs specifically tailored to the incarcerated youth, collections that are appropriate for them to read and have access to. So that is something that is so critical. There's even a program we're planning for the young adults there who can go all the way up to age 24, 25, I believe. And some of them are parents. So we even are planning programs where we're working with those youth who are parents and their very young children. So it's just such an important program. When you look at literacy statistics across the country, there is a very high percentage of illiteracy in the incarcerated population. Extremely high percentage of people who are incarcerated have very, very low literacy levels. That is also reflected in the young adults who are in the juvenile detention center. So that's why we really want to reach that very vulnerable population at a time when we hopefully can reach them and give them those skills that, basic literacy skills and beyond that they're going to need to be successful, not only in the high school services you're providing there, but beyond, whether, they're inspired to go to community college or to university and ultimately seek employment, should they be, and when they are released. So it's such a critical program. And we're really pleased to have that partnership.
Definitely. It's a great partnership, and it really highlights, like you say, the importance of literacy and getting folks on the right path in life. I know you also partner with First 5 Ventura County. I happen to also be a commissioner for First 5 here at Ventura County. And can you talk to us about the wonderful initiative called PACT?
I can. PACT, Parent and Child Together, PACT, programs are now delivered throughout our Ventura County libraries. And that program started through our partnership with First 5 Ventura County. We at the county library system were looking for a better way to provide services to the very young. So, you're we were looking at 0 to 5 at that time. We did have programs, but we wanted to do more. We wanted to expand what we were doing and enhance it. We were finding that our programs were better tailored for 5 and up. So we went to the experts at First 5 Ventura County and found out about their Parent and Child Together programs, where they're working with parents and caregivers to teach them parenting skills and model skills and reading skills for those very, very youngest. And they had developed the whole curriculum for this program. And we said, wow, that's fabulous. That looks like something that would work really well in our libraries. Speaking to the essential services that we provide in libraries, but all these other needs that parents have out there and caregivers have. So we trained, we actually got a grant. And with grant funds, again, from the California State Library, we had trainers come in from First Five in Ventura County and train our youth services librarians to deliver this curriculum and work with the parents and their very young children. And so we now have our own in-house trainers. And so it's a sustainable program that has gone on now for several years and that we continue to implement in our libraries, train our new staff coming in to deliver these services, and, deliver not only, like I said, that early childhood literacy, but these wraparound services, that families have. So yeah, it's a wonderful program.
Yeah, parents really appreciate that program and love it. So thank you for that partnership with our 0 to 5 population and our parents, getting them engaged not only in that program, but it also gives them a window to the library services available to them in the community.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Switching gears, there's been a troubling increase across the country in calls to ban certain books from libraries. What are we seeing locally, and what's being done to preserve access to diverse content that we're used to?
Yes. Good question. Important question. I think when we're talking about this topic, it's really important to see what's happening, see the big picture. The American Library Association has done some research recently, and what they found was the large majority of these attempts to ban materials in libraries or censor materials, it's coming from organized groups and elected officials. Very few actually coming from parents. It's about 16% from parents, with over 70% coming from organized groups. And I think that's really important because I think it speaks to the very important and good work that educators and librarians do and have done for many, many years in providing materials to students and people of all ages. So what we're striving to do is get materials into the hands of people that reflect diverse viewpoints. So again, they can come to the libraries and not only find comfort that there are people who, think like they do, but also discover diverse points of view. So it's not that the libraries are necessarily in any way instructing children how to think or what they should be thinking. We really, in public libraries, believe that parents are a child's first teacher and play such a big role in a child's education. And I know school libraries, and librarians, they feel the same way. So when it comes to book challenges, people are looking at, does this book have, for example, an author who's a person of color, or is there a character who might be LGBTQ? These are not reasons why we as professionals would exclude a book from a collection. We're looking at the material again, as age appropriate. Very important to have age-appropriate materials, but we also want them to show these diverse viewpoints for consideration and to open up worlds, and, spark curiosity and provide them, children and people of all ages with diverse material so that they can really make educated decisions. Certainly, as adults and parents. So that's very important to us as librarians. It's really a critical role we play. Yes, there are times when, a parent might see something in the collection and have a question or disagree. And that's why it's so important to us in our public libraries to have policies and procedures in place. We have very specific methods that we use when we're selecting materials. We really want to reflect the needs of our community. That's how we're deciding what goes into our collections. But we have policies and procedures, and we take it very seriously. If a parent comes to us and says, hey, I don't know if this should be in a collection for children, we take it very seriously. And we listen to them, and, we have them, go through with us why specifically they might find it. And we have a conversation. And I think that librarians have typically done that very well. And it's why we see so few of these attempts to ban coming from parents now, because we have these conversations. So I just encourage parents, if you do have a concern, please come talk to us. This is a conversation. And generally speaking, that we do that and help parents find a way to find materials that are appropriate for their child and work with them in that process. We typically have done that very well. And I think that research by the American Library Association shows that.
Well, thank you and the tireless work of all your team of librarians and staff for engaging in those conversations with parents and objective dialogue about content and really de-escalating some of the things that might be raising red flags or anxiety. As I go back to it, these conversations are what makes our community stronger.
Absolutely.
How does one get a library card? Are you still giving library cards? I still remember how important mine was, but just in case our viewers are interested in getting a library card after you've definitely highlighted all the services that you're offering.
Yeah, good question. So first of all, you need a library card to check materials out of the library. But anybody can come in and use the library and attend library programs without a library card. So I want to stress that. Very important. Totally and completely free, completely open to everybody. For people who do want a library card, anybody in the state of California can get a Ventura County Library card. All they need to do is come into the library, show us some sort of identification that says who they are. We'll give them a library card completely free of charge. Minors under 18, we do ask a parent to give them that permission to check out materials and say, yes, we're going to return them once we check them out. But it's completely free. And in fact, you can even go on to our Ventura County Library website and get a temporary library card issued to you to check out ebooks. Thousands and thousands of ebooks and e-audiobooks online completely for free without even stepping foot in the library. So if you want to do that first and then come in later and get that permanent library card, all of that is completely free and available to anybody who lives in the state of California.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you hear that, Mom and Dad? You know, if you don't have that time to go to the library, you can download ebooks for your kids and for yourself to enjoy. That's amazing that I'm looking forward to explore more of the online services just to check them out. But for all of our community, definitely our parents and our seniors who might be challenged with getting a ride to the local libraries. But definitely, and for our seniors, in that case, there's a lot of city services and transportation services that are readily available for you to make those trips to the pharmacy or to a local library. So please explore those as well. If someone wants to help at the library as a volunteer or by making a donation, how can they go about doing that and getting involved?
We have such amazing volunteers in our libraries. There's a few ways people can get involved. If they'd like to make a donation, I would encourage them to make a donation to the Ventura County Library Foundation. vclibraryfoundation.org is the website, and they can go right online and make a donation online or mail in a donation. And their donation truly has so much impact, positive impact on the services that we're providing. We also have several Friends of the Library groups in the communities we serve. So up in Ojai, out in Fillmore, Ventura, Port Hueneme, Oak Park, there are these amazing community groups that really serve as these grassroots organizations that are raising funds for the library. And very often they're doing that by selling used books that people can get at a greatly discounted price. And then they're raising money that comes back to our libraries to provide these important programs and services. We also have volunteers who come into our libraries and teach people to read or lead English as second language classes. So there's these various volunteer opportunities and ways people can give their time and donations to the library. I always say with more resources, we can just have so much more positive impact in the community. It's very important to me as library director to constantly look at our operations and look for efficiencies and improvements and ways we can do things with a cost saving. So we're always doing that. But the truth is, when we have more resources, we can also do more and have more positive impact. So combining those two things is vital and a big part of what I'm striving to do in the Ventura County Library System. That's
Great to hear. That there's so many opportunities to engage with the system. Definitely, if you're interested in being a volunteer or donating, or if not, join me in being an ambassador to the library system in itself, and talk it up as often as you can with your neighbors, with the community. And if you run across one of your elected representatives, please remind them and thank them of all the library services that the community enjoys, and to continue to advocate for increased resources in that area.
And I will add to that, we have amazing leadership here in Ventura County. I'm very lucky to work here in Ventura County in library services. People who really get and understand how important, library services are and what we do, and that unique role that we play in society.
Well, we'll definitely thank them for supporting you as being our leader in library services in our county.
Well, and thank you for allowing me to be here and get the word out. So thank you very much, Dr. Morales.
Well, Nancy, I want to thank you for taking the time to be part of our podcast here and sharing some of the valuable services the library system has. And kudos to all your partnerships that you have to make the services possible. I'm still impressed of how you serve the entire county with a team of 120. And it takes some amazing work out of those 120 team members, but also their willingness to partner with other agencies and programs and volunteers to really amplify the services. So on behalf of Ventura County Office of Education, I want to thank you for your contributions to the community and for being on our show.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to be on the show today and help get the word out about libraries.
And thank you for watching, and see you next time on Focus on Education.
Focus on Education is a production of the Ventura County Office of Education. We encourage you to subscribe and join us each month for new episodes. You can find Focus on Education wherever you get your podcasts or at vcoe.org/podcast. We also welcome your feedback. You can email us at communications@vcoe.org.